ever set out to start a new challenge or a new habit and you tell yourself like, okay, this time is different, I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to hit the goal that I want to hit. And you do really good for a little bit and then you end up falling off. Trust me, I have been there so many more times than I could even count. But this year, I truly feel like I've cracked the code. I feel like I have finally gotten to the point of understanding why I have yo-yoed so many times in the past. And it might be the same reason for you. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of discipline. It goes way deeper than that. It's a lack of self-trust. When you go through multiple yo-yo cycles, you basically train yourself to start out strong and then quit. So because of that, your subconscious isn't gonna believe you if you say that this time is different, because you'll think that, and then at the very back of your head, you're gonna hear that little voice being like, no, it's not. You're gonna fall off in a week. You're gonna fall off in 3 days or however long your typical run usually lasts. But here's the really important lesson that I've learned is that if you can't trust your word, you will never feel confident no matter how many planners that you try, no matter how many routines that you try. It's just, you're never going to trust yourself. Therefore, you'll never have the confidence in yourself and never truly take the action that you need to take and be consistent in taking that action. Because we become our standards. So if you have normalized starting and stopping, that becomes your identity. But what if your new standard was that you follow through on the things that you say? Because you have to be a true energetic match to the things that you desire. Just having this realization this year with my lack of self-trust being the reason that I wasn't sticking to my own word to myself, it was the brutal truth that I needed to hear, because that has made the biggest change in my journey of becoming the person that I want to be. And it might be the same for you. And maybe it's just been really hard to see that truth. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I am making my coffee, and I have been putting collagen in my coffee for pretty much all year. And I have noticed the biggest difference in my hair and my skin. My skin feels smoother and I feel like my hair is like shinier, and I think it's gotten a little bit thicker. I know, I was so excited. I had Cooper like test it and see. I just put it in a little ponytail whenever it wasn't curled, and it seemed a little thicker, because I've always had pretty fine hair. Just to have a little bit more thickness, oh, I was so excited. If you put collagen in your coffee, it's gonna help you with any possible glucose spikes. If you're someone that likes to have coffee first thing, which it's not the greatest for us, but if that's just what you like, helping to stop your glucose from spiking too much and therefore taking you out of a fat burning state, add collagen and MCT oil to your coffee. So I have the collagen powder from Trader Joe's. This one is like $8 a bag. It's very affordable. I only have to purchase it like every 2 weeks, I think. So it's really not that bad. And it's 10 grams of protein that you add to your coffee. So I do 2 scoops of that. And then this is my superfood creamer that I have been using. I've talked about it in the past, but I love it. I think I'm gonna get the vanilla one next, so I'll let you know how that one is, but this one's really good too. If you are someone that has been very used to sweet creamers, it is not as sweet as like Coffee Mate and almonds, definitely nowhere near that. It tastes like a healthy creamer, but I like it. You definitely learn to not have such sweet coffee, and I really actually prefer it now. This one has lion's mane and reishi mushroom extracts in it, and this has MCT oil in it, which is another reason that I love to use it. So it actually gives you sustained energy with the superfoods that are in it, so you don't crash so much. So I've been doing this and the collagen. My coffee in total has been 65 calories and 10 grams of protein. So that's really, really good. So those are what I just put in my coffee. And then I'm also gonna take my coconut cult. I have been taking coconut cult for several months now, and I am obsessed. I have seen the biggest difference taking coconut cult first thing in the morning before eating. It's an acquired taste. I have to say, I think the strawberry is probably my favorite. So if you are trying coconut cult for the first time, the original is good, but it's pretty intense. It's very sour because it is a fermented yogurt. It's unpasteurized, so it has the good bacteria still in the yogurt. It's not removed during it being pasteurized, which is why everyone's going so crazy for it. It keeps you regular, it keeps you from being bloated, and I'm obsessed. I have Cooper taking it now, and he feels the best whenever he's taking it. So I always make sure to have it stocked in our fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and take mine for the day. The coconut comes very, very last. But if you know anything about fermented food, it ain't very, what's the word? It's an acquired taste, especially that one. That's why I say try the chocolate or the strawberry. I like the strawberry. They're not as like sour. But here's what I mean whenever I said that you need to be an energetic match for your desire. You will never be able to call in confidence, health, wealth, freedom if you're living in the energy of I don't trust myself. Because think about the version of you that already has everything that you want. Do you think that they would be second guessing everything they're doing? That's one thing about successful people that I've learned is they make decisions like that. And I have been such an indecisive person in the past. Being able to trust my initial decision and what I initially believe is what I need to do has changed my life this year. Just think for a second, would that version of you that has everything that you want, would they be second guessing themselves all the time? Would they quit just because things got a little inconvenient? Would she show up for her goals for a little bit and then just ghost them? No. Of course not. She would have unshakable confidence in herself. She would literally trust her word like it was the law, okay? She would never question herself. So if you've been stuck in this cycle of falling off, maybe you're not lacking motivation. Maybe your subconscious just does not believe you. These are very small things that I can do every day to prove to myself that I'm showing up for the best version of myself, whether I feel like it or not. Whether I want a sweeter coffee that day or not, I'm using my healthy creamer. I'm putting my collagen in there. I'm taking my coconut cult before I ingest anything else in the morning. Those are just creating the evidence for myself that I'm showing up for her. So literally, no matter how small a habit seems to be that you're trying to build, it freaking matters. It matters way more than what you think. Waking up with your sunrise alarm clock, drinking water before you consume anything else in the morning, moving your body even if it's just for 10 minutes. These things are not just a checklist, they're evidence to yourself. They are actual proof that you are shifting your identity. You are becoming someone that can be trusted by yourself. And whenever you build that trust, you build confidence in yourself because you believe in the words that you're saying and you become magnetic. Because here's the thing, manifestation does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you're being. So if you really want your dream life, you have to become someone that follows through, and not following through perfectly, but consistently. So be really honest with yourself here. Are you acting like someone that really believes that they deserve their dream life? Or are you just playing the waiting game and hoping that one day you just become her? Because girl, let me tell you, in order to break the cycle, you're gonna have to confront these subconscious thoughts and beliefs that you might have been shoving under the rug. One of the biggest mistakes that I used to make, and you might be making it too, is trying to change everything all at once. A new morning routine, a new workout schedule, journaling, meditating, starting a new business, and trying to do all of this in like 1 week. Of course, I would burn out. But I heard a quote by Tony Robbins that really stuck with me. And he says that people overestimate what they can do in a week, but they underestimate what they can do in a year. And that really hit me. Because when you're trying to overhaul your entire life, it comes from a place of lack. You're basically saying that everything about you and your life needs to be fixed right now. When you're becoming an energetic match to your desires, You have to come from a place of alignment and not anxiety. So stop trying to overwhelm yourself by changing everything all at once. Just focus on like 1 or 2 core habits that you feel like will really start that identity shift for you. And it could be as simple as waking up earlier, or just showing up for a workout, even if it's for just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Once you really focus in on those and they start to feel natural, you want to just build from there. And that's how you become a version of yourself that can truly sustain your dream life. You will be gradually, Freya has the zoomies, I'm sorry if you hear her, but if you are able to build on the habits that feel natural to you, you're able to expand your capacity. Therefore, you'll be able to hold those manifestations so much more because you'll believe that you're that person that has those things. You'll be showing the universe that you can handle it. You're not overwhelmed. You're not coming from any sort of place of lack, and you are basically in alignment with everything you could desire. So really just focus on doing a few little things consistently and then let those compound. It's not about how fast you move or how quickly you can build these things. It's about how deeply that you root into that identity that you're building. And here is the hard truth. You are not always gonna feel like doing the thing. Whether it's drinking your water, getting your steps in, reading your pages, doing your journaling, some days you'll be really excited to do those things, but others, it's gonna be the last thing that you wanna do. You don't need to feel motivated to start the journey of becoming the better version of yourself and building the habits that you wanna build. You just need to start. Most people just sit around and wait for motivation to show up. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not how it works. You've probably heard me say this before, but motivation is like that flaky friend that you just cannot rely on to be there when they're supposed to be. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. And I know that you have felt this before. Think about the times where you've woken up in the morning and it's time for your morning workout. You are so tired, you don't want to get out of your comfy pajamas, you're nice and warm in your bed, thinking about putting on a sports bra and your little workout set is just the last thing that you want to do. But you do it anyway, and once you get into the workout and you get going, you're like, wait, this actually feels good. I feel so good moving my body. You have a way better day because you just did the action. You weren't motivated to do it, but you did it anyway, and you ended up being so proud of yourself. You will never regret doing it, but you will regret skipping it. Tony Robbins also talks about associating pain and pleasure. So a lot of us associate more pain with showing up to these habits and more pleasure in staying in our comfort zone. But you have to experience enough pain in your current situation to want to change it and find more pleasure in doing the action than you do in not doing it. So for instance, you have to find more pleasure in showing up for the workout than you do in staying in your bed. If you keep linking pain to working out, eating healthy, staying disciplined, you're naturally going to avoid those things. But when you start associating more pleasure with being proud of yourself, feeling confident, that's when things really start to shift. But that's why I don't wait till I feel like it anymore. I just commit to the first 5 minutes. Fill the water bottle, put on the shoes, get your workout mat, open the book. Those little actions shift your energy. Because if you go ahead and you put on your shoes, it's a mental trigger to yourself. Okay, it's time to work out. We're here, let's show up. And you start your workout and then you start to feel really good. Or you grab your book, you open it and you're like, all right, I'm here now. I may as well just read a page or two. You can commit to 5 minutes of something. And I promise once you show up for those 5 minutes, you'll end up staying for the whole, say it's a workout, you'll end up staying for the whole 30 minutes. Those little actions will shift your energy. And then once your energy shifts, your mind will shift. So no, you do not need the perfect energy to show up. You can literally be putting on your workout clothes and think, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing this, I just want to go back to bed. You don't need the perfect energy to show up. You just need a decision, which we talked a lot about decisions in my last video, but that is where your true power and control in your life lies, are your decisions. And people treat their decisions with such passive energy, it just blows my mind. And after you really understand the power of your decision, it's so hard to just write them off. But you have to make that decision to take the action and build the momentum, not by waiting, but by showing up anyway, even if it's imperfect. And if you make enough consistent small decisions that vote for that identity shift that you want, you are going to make it so far, and you're going to just quantum leap into this version of you before you even know it. I'm gonna go ahead and cross off another habit that I do during my 12-week year, which is reading for 10 minutes. So I'm reading Biohack Like a Woman by Aggie Lau. My mom and I are actually reading it together. She is enjoying it, so I'm so happy she is. I love this book so much, and I love just rereading it. That's actually where I learned about the collagen and MCT oil in your coffee. But I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast. I'm gonna get some reading done because we set a little reading goal for each other every few days. So I gotta get to my reading goal because I think she already hit it, so I gotta catch up. So let's read for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna also share another tip that genuinely changed my life on this journey of building better habits to create my dream life. I didn't have the camera out, but there was just this loudest rumble of thunder. I feel like it has been raining so much lately, so I'm here snuggled up with my blanket. But I'm here at my desk because one of the things I've been doing with my 12-week year is tracking literally every dollar that we spend. This is such a big habit for me because when I think of the version of myself that I'm becoming and that I desire to be, she has full control over her finances. She knows what's going where, when it's going, and I like to think of every dollar as a soldier. Every soldier has their job, and every little job that the soldiers have, they contribute to a bigger mission. So that's how I like to think of money, and truthfully, I did not grow up with a lot of money at all. We had a very old home that my great-grandfather and my grandfather built together, but my parents did not have a lot of money. We did not have a lot of means to upkeep it, so it was not in the best shape. I mentioned in my last video, our bathroom went years, and I mean like over a decade, with just plywood on the floor and no drywall, so you could literally just see the pipes in the walls. Like it was quite the home. It was still a home, and my mom worked really hard to make it super cozy and as clean as she possibly could. But without my grandparents letting us live there, we would have bounced from house to house. I know it. There's just no way we could have afforded a rent payment or a mortgage payment. Like even grocery shopping, my mom and I would go every Saturday, and we would end the grocery trip by pulling the cart off to the corner in the grocery store and look at the cart and be like, okay, what can we pull out? Because we just couldn't afford everything that we put in there. And doing this really created so many financial limiting beliefs for me. And it really put you, when you do that as a child, it just puts you in this like negative space with money, and it doesn't have to be that way. I know the version of me that I'm becoming knows that there is so much abundance out there. She attracts it. She is not afraid of it. She doesn't have limiting beliefs with it. So that is what I'm becoming, because what I grew up with was not those beliefs, okay? It was scarcity, it was lack, it was fear, anxiety, all the emotions. I'm grateful for it because it's really given me this perspective as an adult. I'm not saying there's not people that had it that didn't have it worse. There absolutely was. I had a great childhood with my mom and my parents, my brother. We were a really tight-knit family, but obviously everyone has their trials and tribulations that they remember in their childhood, and one of ours was financial. That's something I want to change as an adult. I don't want that same kind of lifestyle, that same fear around money, the same lack around money. I can definitely link this planner in the description box if it's something else you're also wanting to tackle. And I love this one because it gives you like a whole layout at the beginning of the month and the year. So you put your income source, the date, the amount, your savings, your budgeting, and then it has like a whole few pages where you can track everything that you spend. And you can also write like what category it was. So yeah, that is why I'm here at my desk. But that brings me to the point of whenever you are working to build habits, is that you need to be very, very clear on who it is that you're becoming. You can put in the effort to build whatever habits you want, but if you are not clear on who you're building them for, they're not gonna last. Like, you have to know, what is the version of me that I'm working for right now? What does she believe? How does she carry herself? How does she talk to herself and other people? Because you can't just say like, oh, I want to be healthy, I want to be more productive. That's just too vague. What you need is a vision. Is she the kind of girl that wakes up to her sunrise alarm clock? Or does she just keep hitting snooze? Does she go on daily walks and listen to podcasts that motivate her? Does she actually finish the things that she starts? That is the energy that you want to tap into. And once you know exactly who that version of you is, your habits will stop feeling like chores. And every habit becomes proof to yourself. Every time you drink water first instead of coffee, or you decide to show up for the workout instead of staying in bed, you decide to open up your gratitude journal and do your journaling instead of just doom scrolling. Every time you do those things, you make those decisions, again, decisions seems to be a common theme here, you are casting a vote for her. And again, this is not about perfection, it is about being in alignment. So if you are struggling to stay consistent, maybe it's not a discipline problem, but maybe you just haven't gotten clear enough on who it is that you're becoming. And something else that's really helped me too is knowing that like, you won't always feel like it, but you will never regret it. You're not always gonna be in the mood to move your body, to go journal, to go read, and that is totally okay. That's actually human. But the goal is to do it anyway. Because like we talked about earlier, motivation comes from action and not the other way around. Oh, it is getting dark. I think it's gonna pour down rain again. It's okay, we're nice and cozy inside, right? And every time I push past the resistance, I've never regretted it. But what I have regretted in the past is letting a temporary emotion make a permanent decision. So stop waiting until you just feel ready, okay? Because if you're waiting to feel ready, you're gonna be waiting a long time. You need to show up and prove that you can do it even whenever you feel uncomfortable. And that is where your real power is. Not in the perfect plan, but in the consistent, messy action. Because consistency builds identity. We tell ourselves the same story. Once I feel more confident, once I feel more healthy, once I'm not tired, then I'll start. But we have it so backwards. You don't wake up one day just magically believing that you're that girl. You become her by doing the little things that she would do over and over and over again until you actually do become her. You do those little things so much over so much amount of time that it's just who you are. You build your identity through your action. And it can be small action. You become a reader by reading 2 pages a day. You become someone who is active just by going on a 10-minute walk every day. Your brain doesn't need these massive gestures that we think it does. It just needs these little bits of evidence and proof, which realizing about myself that the version of me that I am becoming would be so keen on her finances and so literate with it, she would be so confident around it. So that is what I'm doing with this budget planner, and it's honestly helped me a ton. I wonder if it's actually gonna rain. It looks pretty dark out there. I hope it does. That'd be so cozy. Just catching up my budget planner, listening to the rain, which is actually part of my last tip I want to share with you after doing my budget planner, is something that I've done here. So let me catch this up and then we will talk about it. feels so good to get that budget book caught up. Oh, I hate whenever it gets behind. It's the worst feeling. And it did end up raining. She makes it nice and cozy, but I feel like it's been raining a ton lately, so we just gotta roll with it. And that actually leads me into my next tip that has made a world of a difference for me whenever I've been on this journey of building healthy habits and staying consistent. And that is to romanticize the process and not just the end result. If you're only showing up for the body, the perfect lifestyle, the aesthetic, you are going to burn out. Because throughout this entire journey, the real transformation doesn't come from the outcomes. It comes from falling in love with the feeling of showing up. That quiet moment where you wake up and you stretch your body after it feels a little sore from the workout the day before, or just the calm vibe whenever you are opening up your journal with your warm cup of coffee. You have to romanticize the things that are taking you to your dream life. Stop needing every habit to give you a fast result. When you can stop looking at habits that way and look at it more so as a gift that you give yourself, everything changes for you. Because you don't need to wait until the after and the final result to start feeling good. You have to start loving the becoming. And that is how you stay consistent. Not by grinding your way to some distant goal, but by making the process something so beautiful and so nourishing that you want to keep showing up. And I want to really clear up something whenever I say consistency. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's not. It sounds like it is, but it truly isn't. Because it's not about doing your habits every single day without fail, like this Pinterest style version that you have in your head. It's about coming back. Because missing one day doesn't ruin your progress. What actually ruins it is the guilt that you have from missing that one day. It's when you start to spiral and you start to think like, oh, well, I didn't do it yesterday, so why even bother anymore? And when you start to tell yourself that story, that's whenever things get a little messy. That's personally the cycle that I found myself in before. If I couldn't hit something every single day, if I missed a day, I was like, well, it's pretty much pointless. I ruined my streak and I'm just don't see the point anymore. I reached a point where I was experiencing more pain being where I was versus actually putting in the work. So I would start the cycle all over again and eventually fall off. But the thing that you have to realize is that real identity, that comes from the comeback. The moment that you choose to reset after a messy day or just a day or two of missing your habits instead of telling yourself that story of why even bother. The moment that even though you may have skipped your morning routine, you still choose to pour that glass of water and have that before anything else to make sure you're hydrated. The moment where maybe you've scrolled the whole day or a whole hour away, but you go for a walk anyway. Those are very powerful reps because you're showing yourself that I don't have to be perfect to be consistent. I just have to keep coming back. And every time you do, every time you make that decision to return to the person that you're becoming, you reinforce that identity that says that this is who I am now, even when it's messy. Even when it's late, even whenever it just is not cute and things are not aesthetic. Because I promise you, you will have those days. Even if you go an entire day without doing a single habit, still try to show up for yourself, even at the very end, before you go to bed, whether it is touching in with your journal, doing a little stretch, or even just setting out your workout clothes for the next day so that you have a better day the next day. Just really try not to dwell on the days that don't go to plan and that you didn't do the things you wanted to do, or maybe even showed up for the habits in the way you wanted to. Just think like, okay, I accept that today was not the best, it wasn't cute, but it's okay. We're gonna keep moving forward. This doesn't kill my momentum because I know my future self would keep going. She would make the decision to keep showing up because she understands the bigger picture, which you have to make your habits as frictionless as possible. If your habit takes a lot of effort to start, you are way less likely to follow through. And it's not because you're lazy or anything, it's because your brain is wired to not do something that is just like too much. So the key to this is to remove as much friction as you possibly can. For example, the biggest one for me, which I love to call these green lights, by the way, so if I ever say like set yourself up for green lights, this is what I mean. And one really big green light that I do for myself is I set out my workout clothes the night before. I do not want to get up first thing in the morning when I am so tired and already not feeling like working out, just to go dig for my workout clothes and stumble around for my socks and try to find my mat and fill up my water. Like, no girl, we're not doing that, okay? Lay your workout clothes out the night before in a very, very visible spot. Fill up your Stanley before you go to bed and put your mat where you're going to see it. So all you have to do is show up. The more you can streamline your habits, the less time your brain has to negotiate with itself and to talk you out of it. And you'll feel less resistance, and it makes it so much easier to show up. You basically want to make it where you have to give starting this habit absolutely zero thought. So do your future self a favor and just make showing up inevitable, because it's just so easy and so effortless. And if I'm ever tempted to skip a habit or just catch myself spiraling, or I'm just reaching for comfort more than I am growth, I literally stop and ask myself, what would the version of me that I'm becoming do right now? This question's not meant to be about perfection. It's about giving you direction in a moment where you don't feel that clarity, you don't feel that motivation, and you're feeling that resistance. It's gonna help you anchor your energy into your future self's energy right now. And when you consistently act in that energy, even in small ways, you close the gap between who you are and who you're becoming. I really hope this video helped you in your journey of building healthy habits to actually manifest the life that you dream of, because I understand the journey of building habits. I understand the ups and the downs, because I have been there so many times, and these are the things that I have learned and am still implementing to this day. I'm human and we are ever evolving, but truly these have made the biggest difference for me. And if you are looking to do the same thing, especially right now as I'm filming this, it's halfway through 2025. We just did our mid-year reset, so this is the perfect time to start building some new habits. Maddie's yelling. She walks around with a mouse in her mouth. I'm in here. They do this every time I film. Come on. Okay, yep, she's got a mouse. But I really do hope that this video gave you the inspiration that you needed to really take the next half of the year and hit the ground running. And even if it's not the middle of the year, whenever you're watching this, no matter what time it is, this is all completely applicable. If you're wanting to really step into that version of you that you've dreamed of becoming, these are the keys to that. And I know that if you implement all of these things, it's inevitable that you will reach that vision that you have for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.